What is going on, all of my people of the planet? I am D Venom, along with feathered friends. You are all tuned into Raising Vibrations Podcast. I hope all of my people of the planet are staying on that straight and narrow and doing everything possible to elude psychic vampires, negative energies, including podbean trolls and scallywags from one's lives. We all should know by now that those particular elements only take away from our energies and vibrations. If we could elude them at all costs, we have done our own selves some justice. And with that being said, let's get into tonight's episode, starting right now. All right, you guys, as mentioned, I am D Venom, along with my tired, sleepy, feathered friends who I had covered ever since this afternoon. Sometimes they can make a little bit too much noise, and, I wasn't feeling it. I wanted peace and quiet, and I covered their asses up, and, it calmed them down big time. Other than that, my birds probably, not now, but earlier, they would have been acting up, and I probably wouldn't have got a word in edgewise. So I see why they say have a cover to cover them up, because they can get a little out of hand sometimes. And yeah. Anyway, you guys, I wanted to create this particular episode as a reminder that there are people in this world that need our help and need our ears and need a hug and things of that particular nature. So take some time out of your busy life to be there for someone. And I've done this on several of occasions within my life, and I do believe that I was in the matrix during these particular times. And if I was in the matrix, but still worried about people, still showing empathy and sympathy towards people, then, that says a lot about my character. I can't say about your character because I don't know you guys like that. But it says a lot about me and the person that I am, because I could have been worried about drugs and dick and whatever else, but I was worried about these people's needs during their time. And anyway, I'll get into that here momentarily. Thank you guys for downloading the episode in regard to my eldest sibling and you January babies. I found out that you guys are Capricorns, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I was gonna go there, but I'll just keep it to myself. But, my sibling is a, Capricorn, if I'm not mistaken. And, I don't have a bad relationship with anyone. You know what I mean? Unless that person makes it bad. Then, there's bad blood. Aside from that, I have good relationships with people that I choose to have relationships with. And, I didn't think that I would have another Capricorn in my life again. But I'll always have my eldest sibling in my life, astrological sign or not. Anyway, I do need to figure out if Capricorn is the right astrological sign. I believe it is. What is this? Sorry, you guys. I have discovered Telegram, and I was corresponding with my Russian acquaintance. We're not friends yet. They're my acquaintance. And I was speaking with them because they called me earlier today. We're like a daytime difference. Anyway, it's like 8 something in the morning, their time. Probably 9 something, but I think 8 something, and it's 11 something, at night here, in Arizona. Anyway, they shared a very interesting story with me that I shared with you guys live. And if you guys were listening live, you would know what we talked about. But, we talked about various different topics of conversation, including the fact that people in Russian prison take flies and they de-wing them. They rip their wings off. And they take these flies and they put them on the head of their penises for, I guess, sexual stimulation. Now, I thought that this probably wouldn't work considering, flies can jump and easily, without wings, they move around. And how is it going to stay in place? But then I thought, well, a lot of my European, Russian, foreign individuals are uncut and, meaning they have turtlenecks. And, anyway, that skin that covers the mushroom head, would more than likely keep the fly in place. Not necessarily in place, but the fly will be able to move around within the foreskin that's wrapped around the head. I can but what if the fly goes in the pee hole? Then what? Oh my goodness. I never thought about that. Anyway, it was a very intriguing story or stories, to say the least, that I had with this Russian individual. It's very informative. I love hearing stuff like that, in regard to, what other countries and stuff like that do for sexual gratification. Taking flies and de-winging them and putting them on your penis head and covering it with the skin so that, baby, I thought that people hopefully y'all don't do this, take them innocent gerbils and hamsters and stick them up your asses for sexual stimulation. I could just imagine what that poor gerbil goes through, just smelling oh baby. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Leave the gerbils and the hamsters alone. Let them, play and be cute and innocent, like they're bred to be. We don't need to be sticking them up our asses for sexual gratification. But anyway, I was just really in awe with that whole entire story in regard to the prisoners taking flies. And I can just imagine what they do with roaches. Oh, baby. Anyway, back to what I was saying earlier in regard to, you never know if a person may need your ear, your hug, your energy, your smile. You just never know. And I remember back in Las Vegas, I was living in 6149 West Oakey Boulevard, apartment C on the second floor. And I remember that I was out being ratchet. That's my life. That was my life a great majority of the time, being ratchet in Vegas. Anyway, I was being ratchet, and I took a walk down to the gas station, and I just remember that I was approaching the gas station, and I seen a female that was sitting on the edge of, like a stair, kind of leading you into the inside of the store. And anyway, this person was sitting there, and they were, literally bawling their eyes out. And I'm like, what's going on? And so as I'm approaching the gas station, I see people looking this person in their eyes, but they would keep going about their business. And I'm just like, is anyone going to give this child some form of attention? Because who knows, their mother could have died. Their best friend could have died. Their child could have died or been injured, or anything could have happened in this person's life. They could have broke up with their boyfriend or their girlfriend. Who knows? I just know that people were rude as fuck. Your life is busy, don't get me wrong, but your life is never too busy to lend a ear or a hand or, a hug, a smile. Your life is just never that busy in order to do that for a person, because you just never know. You could be their savior, and I feel like I was this person's savior this particular night in Las Vegas. Anyway, I get closer to where this individual is, and I'm so empathic and so nurturing when I feel the need to be. And anyway, I'm seeing random people passing this person up, while they sat on the ledge of the steps, pretty much crying and whatever else. And I'm just like, okay, I can't go in this store and get what I'm going to get and ignore this person. I have to talk to them. And if I'm not mistaken, several people, I'm not going to say everybody was being rude. Several people did ask this person what was wrong, but the person didn't open up until pretty much I came along. And that's when they were telling me, what was going on. I forgot exactly why this young lady was crying. I think maybe her boyfriend and them got into it and, maybe had broken up that particular night. Anyway, I remember I sat down next to the person, is dick hungry and motherfucking, methamphetamine hungry. And I was on my own mission that night, but I took the time out of what I was doing, which was nothing except, looking for drugs and dick. That's what I was doing. Anyway, I took the time out from that activity to sit down next to this young lady and spark up a conversation with them, which had them open up even more in regard to their situation. And when they opened up, okay. They was bawling even more. I mean, ugly cry all day, evening, and night long. And I'm like, okay, this person is really, really going through it. And I sat there as long as I possibly could sit there. And I comforted that person. And eventually they got themselves together to the point where they were able to, leave in front of the gas station and going about their business. I don't know if I walked them halfway or what, but I do know that the energy that I loaned to this person that particular day, or gave to that person, I didn't loan them anything. I gave them that energy. It made them feel a lot better, and that made me feel a lot better. And I don't even know if I continued on with my mission that particular night. I think I went home and called it one. But anyway, it was well worth giving that person my energy, even though I got a little drained with, what was going on. I still sat there and I still gave that person my energies, because it's what they needed in order to go on with their own life. And, hopefully they did not harm themselves or do anything like that shortly thereafter. But I think that, after speaking with me and giving me a hug and vice versa, I think everything was okay in that person's world. Anyway, that happened here in Arizona as well. I was on another mission, drug mission, dick mission, and I accomplished my goal in regard to the dick and the drugs. But anyway, after I got the dick and the drugs to my apartment, which was on North 35th Avenue in Glendale, we noticed that there was what we thought was a female sitting on like the curb or whatever, crying and just, some of everything. And, we both did not go into my apartment until we both, myself and the scallywag, until we gave this person some attention. Now the scallywag wanted to get the scallywag wanted to give the person a little bit too much attention while I'm trying to give them some attention. And they talking about inviting the person over to my place. And it's just like, no, we're not doing that. The dick is mine. And, then let that be the reason. Anyway, I sat out there with this person we sat out there with this person for who knows how long, comforting them and, giving them some good energy. And, the person, to me, I don't know if they was on drugs or what, but, just their body language alone. I never seen a person in distress with their legs cocked wide the fuck open, for the world to see type scenario. And, I didn't see any, dick or anything, but I did see a split and camel toe. I seen that all day long, and that influenced the scallywag even more. Damn, can we invite her over? Blah blah blah. No, you're not fucking her and me and whatever else case may be. That's not how this motherfucking charade is going down. I worked you. You knew you was being worked, and I got the drugs or whatever the case may be, and I'm not sharing them with everybody. I'm sharing them with you. And anyway, I remember after the person calmed down, got themselves together, we gave each other a hug. We actually exchanged phone numbers, but nothing came about that. Anyway, I hugged the person and they whispered in my ear, I know you're something. It had to do with gay and I think a light worker. And I just started cracking up laughing. I'm just like, this person is very, very psychic, so to speak, because they definitely know who I am. And I thought it was the most funniest thing. But I don't know if the person I don't know what they were doing, because like I said, I never seen a woman in distress, crying, legs wide open. But what does that indicate? You're either in distress or, I don't know. The body language alone just said a whole different scenario when it came to this person. But anyway, the whole point is, regardless of what I was doing, and it was ratchetness, bad stuff, but I still took the time out of that ratchetness and that bad activity, that detrimental activity, to entertain someone that needed an ear, a hug, a smile, comforting words. That's all it takes. And who's to say I probably prevented a suicide from happening. And that's what it's all about, people. Just somewhere in your black, dark hearts, y'all can dig down deep and, lend a ear or a helping hand to a person that really needs it. I probably saved 2 lives, the life in Vegas and the life here in Arizona. 1822, the time of the recording. Anyway, who's to say? But I just know that I felt good after, even when I was at the hotel that one time. I told y'all the story. I believe it was a sex trafficking situation where there was once again I was on drugs and the Matrix, and I was on the second floor at the Motel 6, if I'm not mistaken, and myself and a couple of people that kept walking past this door, we thought that this person was getting fucked down, okay? Not being nasty or anything, but that's how it sounded, those stumps and everything like that. I was just like, damn, somebody is getting it in, okay? And then the person that they sound like they were crying. No, at first they didn't sound like that. They sounded like they was getting banged out, and whoever was banging them out to the point where they had tears in their eyes. Okay. But then the more that I listened, the more that something don't seem right with this. And anyway, come to find out, long story short, there was a deaf woman in the room that was being beat by, I guess their pimp or whatever. And of course, the woman couldn't speak for herself. She could yell, but as far as like saying, stop, leave me alone, don't do this, blah, 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 she could not say. And I remember the guy telling her, if you get us kicked out this room, basically I'm going to beat your ass even more. And not only did myself, but a couple of other people in the hotel that was centered around this room, they ended up calling, in to let them know that something's not right in this room. And when the front desk came, the woman went to the door. She was distraught, and she basically was telling the people that nothing's wrong. And, the people at the front desk, they could already tell something was wrong. And basically, they ended up getting kicked out the room. Now, I can't say if this person got beat up even more than what they did while at the hotel. I mean, the person threatened and said that if they get kicked out because this woman was screaming and whatever else, she's getting it even more. I honestly do believe he beat that woman more than what he did after they got kicked out. But it's not that woman's fault that you guys got kicked out. It's your fault because you couldn't keep your motherfucking hands to yourself. Being a man, that's why you guys got kicked out of the hotel. But I'm pretty sure he put that blame on that woman just so he could beat her. And I'm not sure if it was the sex trafficking thing, like I said, but I honestly feel like it could have been, considering 21:44 time of the recording, considering how everything went down that particular evening. But anyway, I think that not only myself, but a couple of other people had a hand in, helping to save that particular person's life. Then, what happened after they left the hotel, pretty much isn't our concern. She had a chance to get away from all of that, while front desk and everything like that was talking to them. But if they decided against that and went to go get beaten, hurt even more, 22:33 time of the recording, obviously I'm not going to say it's what they deserve, but it's what they want for themselves. You have a chance to escape that situation. You don't. What else can anybody else do? We've done our due diligence. We called front desk. We foreshadowed the fact that someone is being hurt. And, that was your opportunity to, get the way. I mean, even if you had to run in the arms of the front desk people, look, this motherfucker is attacking me, anything to get away from that situation. But I believe this woman was just that terror. I wanted to get a glimpse at the guy, but I never got a glimpse at what he looked like. Of course, I'm pretty sure he was embarrassed in regard to his actions. But, no, I never got a chance to look at the coward, that beat that particular woman. But, these are just examples of some of the things. These are just examples of some of the cases that I have been involved in where I given up some energy to someone that needed it the most. And, again, you guys, y'all can, up some energy and some time, some hugs, some smiles, to a person that's in need, because you just never know. Your energy could be the energy that saved that particular person's life. And the fact that I've done this on more than 3 occasions, I'm not saying makes me a winner, but it definitely paints me in a whole different light than a lot of other people, considering the fact that, a lot of folks turned their noses up at some of these people in the scenarios that I am telling, that I have been involved in. It's fucked up, and I could just imagine if I was in that situation, which I do believe I have been in that situation on a couple of occasions, and I've been ignored. Like yesterday, thank God this person in the school had friends, And thank God there was someone empathetic. And this person is from a different country. I think they're Iraq or Iranian or something to that effect, because they wear the scarf or whatever. I don't want to call it a scarf, but that's what they wear over their head. Anyway, there was a young lady, and I was getting ready to take the Izzy's back to the freezer because we had just got done wrapping up, I think, 8th grade lunch. And anyway, there was a girl sitting at the table. You know, she was crying and going through some motions, crying and eating some Flamas, Doritos Flamas. Now, I'm not laughing at the person, but I'm just like, okay, how do you cry and go through your situation and did throw down on some Doritos Llamas? That child was fucking up them. Excuse me. 26:44 time of the recording. No, 25:44 time of the recording. That child was fucking up them damn Doritos Llamas and crying at the same. I thought she was crying because of the spices. I did not know. But, you know, when I got a closer look, I could see that she was distraught about something. And the person from Iran or whatever who, you know, gets talked about in their own way. I'm not saying that the person is getting talked about, but y'all know how folks are, you know, you're Iraq, blah, 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 you're a bomber, you know, blah, 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 you know, dumb shit like that. I'm pretty sure they went through their own teasing and torment and whatever else in regard to their nationality. But this person got off their ass and they turned the empath. No, not saying that. Let me take that back. They probably already were very empathetic or are very empathetic. And they got up from their table, went over to the table where the young girl was fucking up Doritos Llamas and crying, and gave them some comfort. And I think that person from there got up and sat at the table with the young lady from Iraq or whatever and their group of friends. And that made me happy. You know, someone took that person in. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying go out there and take everyone in that you see in a distraught situation. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just lend some energy, you know, because you just never know who needs some energy. It may be draining at the end of the day, which most of the time it is, you know, especially for us empaths, when we loan our energy to those broken individuals, it could be very draining, but it's very beneficial at the end of it's very beneficial at the end of the day. All right, you guys, I am going to end this episode. I'm up. I may go live for a little bit. My Russian acquaintance, I was going to call them friend, but my Russian acquaintance got me up and going. 12:22, the time here in Arizona, definitely angelic time. And those twos are my grandmother speaking all day long. What is it, Grams? What are you telling me? Take my ass back to bed, stop being so worldly, and start worrying about my spiritual path. Is that what you're telling me? Anyway, I am going to end this particular recording and let you guys, well, what am I talking about? Let you guys get some sleep. Hell, y'all probably already sleep on me. Anyway, don't forget, you guys, loan an ear and heart, a hug, a smile, a greeting, anything of a nice gesture. You know, loan that to someone, because you just never know what a person is going through these days. All right, you guys, I am the Venom, along with the feathered friends that are covered up. I know my birds are mad at me. They're like, you bitch, you had us covered up ever since this evening, earlier part. Excuse me, in the earlier part of the evening. They'll be okay. Anyway, you guys, I am the Venom, and 29:29 time of the recording, I am out. Well, we are out. Until my next episode, or until our next episode. Namaste, you guys.